Introduction phrases. In today's fast-paced world. In the contemporary era. Nowadays. In recent years. It is undeniable that there is a growing trend. There is no doubt that in recent years, it is widely acknowledged that there is a growing trend that it is commonly believed that it is a well-known fact that with the advent of technology, as the world becomes more interconnected, in today's fast-paced world, it is imperative to discuss the impact of internet. Agreeing phrases. I concur with the idea that I am in complete agreement with the notion that it is undeniable that there is no denying that. I agree to a large extent that I wholeheartedly support the idea that it is evident that I am of the opinion that I firmly believe that it is clear that disagreeing phrases. While I understand the argument that it is tempting to argue that I respectfully disagree with the idea that despite the fact that it is worth considering the counterargument that disagreeing phrases. One cannot overlook the fact that it is essential to acknowledge the opposing viewpoint that it seems unreasonable to claim that, although some people may argue that, it is important to critically evaluate the assertion that giving examples phrases. For instance, to illustrate. A case in point is as an illustration, such as take, for example, in particular, namely, as evidence, to give a concrete example, adding information phrases. Furthermore, moreover, additionally, in addition to, furthermore, besides, not only but also, likewise, similarly, equally important. Contrasting phrases. On the contrary, in contrast, conversely, however, nevertheless, nonetheless, although, even though, while. On the other hand, expressing cause and effect phrases. Consequently, therefore, thus, as a result, for this reason, owing to, due to, because, since, in light of. Expressing certainty phrases. Undoubtedly, certainly, absolutely, without a doubt. It is certain that, clearly, unquestionably, definitely, it is evident that, there is no doubt that. Expressing doubt phrases. It is doubtful that. It is questionable whether. One might wonder whether. It remains to be seen if. It is not entirely clear that. It is hard to say whether. There is some uncertainty about. It is not entirely convincing that. The jury is still out on whether. There is room for doubt about. Expressing emphasis phrases. Importantly. Notably. Significantly. It is crucial to. An essential point to consider is. It should be emphasized that. Of paramount importance is. A key factor to remember is. It cannot be overstated that. A critical aspect of this is. Summarizing phrases. In summary. To sum up. In conclusion. To conclude. All in all. Taking everything into account. Overall. To summarize. In essence. To wrap up. Expressing opinion phrases. In my opinion. From my perspective. As I see it. I believe that. It seems to me that. My view is that. I would argue that. Personally. From my standpoint. As far as I am concerned. Expressing importance phrases. It is of utmost importance that. It cannot be stressed enough that. It is crucial to recognize that. The significance of this cannot be ignored. It is vital to highlight that. This is a matter of great significance because one should not underestimate the importance of. It is imperative to emphasize that. This holds great importance in the context of. It is paramount to acknowledge the importance of. Expressing frequency phrases. Frequently. Regularly. Often. Occasionally. Sometimes. Rarely. seldom, from time to time, now and then, every now and again. Expressing comparison phrases. Similarly, likewise, in the same vein, in comparison to, just as, by the same token, correspondingly, equally, in a similar fashion, comparable to. Expressing comparison phrases. Similarly, likewise, in the same vein, in comparison to, just as, by the same token, correspondingly, equally, in a similar fashion, comparable to. Expressing contrast phrases. On the other hand, in contrast, conversely, nevertheless, nonetheless, whereas, while, despite this, in spite of, although. Expressing condition phrases. If, unless, in the event that, provided that, on the condition that, under the circumstances, in case, if it happens that, as long as, given that, in order to, so as to, with the purpose of, for the purpose of, to achieve, for the intention of, in the hope that, with the aim of, in order that, to this end. Expressing concession phrases. Admittedly, granted that, certainly, of course, naturally, no doubt, to be sure, granted, it is true, it is undeniable. Expressing opposition phrases. Nonetheless, nevertheless, in spite of, on the contrary, still, even so, regardless, although, but, yet. Expressing contrast phrases. However, nevertheless, nonetheless, on the other hand, still, in spite of, regardless, even so, although, yet. Expressing similarity phrases. Similarly, likewise, in the same way, just as, correspondingly, equally, in a similar manner, in a like manner, in the same fashion, by the same token. Expressing cause and effect phrases. Consequently, therefore, thus, as a result, because, since, owing to, due to, for this reason, on account of. Expressing similarity phrases. Similarly, likewise, in the same way, just as, correspondingly, equally, in a similar manner, in a like manner, in the same fashion, by the same token. Expressing cause and effect phrases. Consequently, therefore, thus, as a result, because, since, owing to, due to, for this reason, on account of. Expressing result phrases. Accordingly, as a result, hence, therefore, thus, consequently, so, for this reason, it follows that. This implies that. Expressing time phrases. Subsequently, eventually, in the meantime, meanwhile, simultaneously, afterwards, previously, initially, ultimately, over time. Expressing certainty phrases. Undoubtedly, certainly, absolutely, without a doubt. It is clear that. It is certain that. Clearly, unquestionably, definitely, there is no doubt that. Expressing possibility phrases. Perhaps. Maybe.
Kindly like, share, and watch all of my IELTS preparation videos to help you achieve a higher score. Please consider subscribing to my channel as well.